In Unity, you have to write code in C#. If you already have experience with it, that's great. But if you don't, no worries, it is an easy programming language to master. There are many ways to create a C# script. The easiest way is to right-click on any space in the project window. Then select Create, and click on C# script. After a script is created, a default name is given. That is, New Behavior Script. The second method is to select the menu asset, then click on Create and C# script. You can even right-click on any folders to create a script inside that folder. Now let's create a folder and name it Scripts. You can right-click here to create a script in this folder, or here. You are able to move the scripts, or any assets to any folders by dragging them like this. Let's delete these scripts. And create a new script inside this folder. Then name it Bird. When you look at the inspector window over here, you can see the content of the script. But you cannot edit a script here. This script I will use for the bird game object in the hierarchy over here. To open a script, we double-click on it. The Visual Studio 2017 is launched on my side, because I have already installed it, and have done some configuration to make it work together with Unity. In the next section, I will show you how to do it. In this section, I will not show you how to install Visual Studio. You can find the link to download Visual Studio 2019 in the description. For now, I assume that you have already done installing it. Let's go to the Edit menu, and click on Preferences. Click on the External Tools tab. In this drop-down menu, the Visual Studio must be selected. If it is not visible here, you need to click on the Browser menu, and locate the program. Now select this file and click Open. If you are not able to find the location, you can follow the following method. Firstly, search the program. Right-click on it, and select Open File Location. Secondly, right-click on the shortcut, and select Properties. Click on Open File Location, and copy the path. Remember the program name. Now the final step is easy, and I believe you know how to do it. Now select this file and click Open. For me, I click Cancel. I've been working with Visual Studio for a long time, so I keep using it. If you have not, I recommend that you use another code editor, called Visual Studio Code. Let's go to its website. This looks beautiful and professional. I see a lot of people use it, so you can give it a try. Now, you still have one more step before you can actually use Visual Studio in a Unity project. Let's open Visual Studio. Go to the Tools menu and select Get Tools and Features. Then wait for a couple of seconds. In the Workload tab, We scroll to the Mobile and Gaming section. Make sure the Game Development with Unity is selected. If it is not, you need to select it, and click on the Modify button. Now everything is ready. After opening a script that I created before, you can see that the default content is a class. This class has two functions, start and update. The start function will be called before the first frame update, and the update function will be called once per frame. Let's print a message in each function. Now save the file by going the File menu, and click Save. You can also use the hotkey, Ctrl+S. Let's get back to Unity, and switch to the console window. If you don't see it, go to the Window menu, General, then click Console. Now run the game. As you can see, nothing shows up in the console window. This is because the script now is just a file, and can't run by itself. What we need to do is to attach the script to a game object in the hierarchy window. Let's select the bird game object, then drag the script over here. The script now becomes a component of the game object. Run the game again. Look at the console windows. The messages have appeared. Stop the game, and focus on these messages. You can notice that this message in the start function appears first and only once. The message in update function appears many times in a short period of time. I will show you another way to attach a script to a game object. Let's delete this component. Adding it again by clicking on the component button, then search for the script name, and click on this, or hit enter. This method has the same result as the dragging method we did previously. But it's useful if you don't want to find the script in the project window for dragging. Now return to the script. Let's print the time since the game started. For example, if the game has started for 10 seconds, this code will print 10. We also do this in the update function. Return to Unity, and hit the play button to start the game. Let the game run for a couple of seconds, and then see what has been printed in the console. The time in the start function will definitely be 0, because that's when the game has just started. And each time the update function is called, the time begins to increase, but very slowly. You can notice that the update function is called a lot of times in 1 second. Now clear the console and disable the bird script. Run the game to see what happens. As you can see, when the script is disabled, the console has nothing to show. That means the start and update function is not called anymore. Let's stop the game, and disable the game object instead of the bird script to see what happens. The same thing happens. In conclusion, if your script doesn't seem to work, you need to make sure that the script itself is not disabled, and the game object must be active. Now I will enable the bird, and delete the magnet object. Then make the bird position higher. Finally, add the rigid body 2D component to the bird object. Currently, you don't need to know the actual use of this component. What we know is that the bird will fall down after we run the game. Just like this. As you can see, The Y position is going down here. Let's stop the game and go back to our script. Now, I will print the Y position of the object in the update function. Run the game, and notice the values printed in the console. That's the Y position value over time. These values are synchronized with the ones in the transform component. I will stop the game and return to the script. Let's make a simple logic. When the bird falls down and passes the center of the screen, we show warning messages. When it passes the bottom of the screen, we show error messages. I hope you understand this code. If you don't, you might need to pause the video to think a little longer. Now get back to Unity. Run the game. And wait for a couple of seconds before stopping the game. Look at the console and see what has been printed there. You can see the Y position value is dropping. And when it is smaller than 0, the warning messages begin to show. When it is smaller than -5, the error messages showed instead. It works just like we expected. Now, what if I want to destroy the bird if it begins to fall out of the screen? Let's add this line of code. This will destroy the game object which has this script as a component. Play the game. And focus on the bird object here. Now it's gone. Or be destroyed exactly. If you notice the error message, you can see that it showed only once. This is because the game object has been destroyed, and the script attached to it would also be destroyed. Now, what if we only want to show warning and error messages in the console? We can do that by disabling the log toggle over here. You can see that the log messages are gone. Let's do the same with the warning and error. It's time to play around a little bit. Let's enable the collapse toggle. Basically, this will group the messages with the same content. You can see that this message in the update function was printed 69 times. And this message in the start function was printed only once. And this is the end of today's lesson. Hope you enjoy this video. And if you do, please give us a like, and subscribe to my channel. See you next time. Goodbye.